Hello Bobcats, and welcome to another episode of The Sage. I'm Bella Niems.
And I'm Paige Zepeda, and we have some exciting packages for you this week.
We will be talking about our new staff,
a spotlight on a talented artist,
an inside look on the climate walkout,
and finally we take it to the courts for a glimpse at a freshman excellence.
First up is a warm welcome and an introduction to our fresh new staff this year, which Chloe, Neal, and I had the pleasure of covering.
Mr. Schuweiler is now our principal, and Ms. Harrington has taken his place as vice principal.
They have some encouraging words and fresh perspectives of our campus.
So let's take a look.
We had the pleasure to speak with our new administrators this week and how they will continue to grow Sage Creek in the coming years. We first talked to Principal Schuweiler about how he feels as the new principal and his overall goal he would like to achieve.
It feels amazing. It's a blessing. I'm so fortunate to be the principal at Sage Creek High School. One of my main goals that I started with on the first day of school, building what I call that home court advantage, right? And so to put a term to that home court advantage for us is that idea of every Bobcat every day. It's about all of us together, all students every single day, and building a culture where we feel safe, we feel welcome, we're connected, and we're valued.
We then talked to both Schuweiler and Vice Principal Harrington on how they have been interacting with the student body.
We're always looking for ways to connect better with students. Just being more visible, being out during lunchtime, during passing period, going up to students. And again, I really think it goes back to that, just finding ways to establish community. It's really about being visible, getting into the classrooms, being seen at lunchtime, finding opportunities to have relationships by saying hi, just starting a conversation with students.
Whether it's being in classrooms and greeting students every morning in front of school as they're rubbing their eyes, waking up for the day, really just having conversations with kids. And to be honest, that's one of the best parts of this job, is being able to interact with students.
Schuweiler then gave us insight into how the new classes have been formed this year.
This year we're bringing on AP art history, right? And that was because there was a demand for it. Marine science, the same thing. A lot of it, believe it or not, comes from what students are asking for. What is the demand? And how can we best serve that demand? So it's definitely not a situation where, it's Mr. Schuweiler alone going, hey, let's add this class and do it on a whim.
Finally, both Harrington and Schuweiler gave us some last words of encouragement for this next year.
And I think if we keep building community as a focus, Sage Creek just continues to improve in great ways.
When you walk through the gates, when you're walking into school, I want every single one of us to have that moment of going, okay, I'm home.
Wow, it was so awesome to hear how our new classes are created and how other people see Sage Creek's atmosphere.
I agree. Sage is definitely different than most schools.
Yes. Speaking about different, Kaiah Rivas has a unique artistic style that has led her to success.
Let's send it over to Nadia Razzaq and Jin Son to see what her style is all about.
This edition of the Sage Spotlight features Kaiah Rivas, an outstanding photographer. Her unique and in-depth photography is what landed Kaiah a spot in the youth exhibit at the Museum of Photographic Arts in Balboa Park.
And I'm fairly new to photography. I only started last year, but to know that my picture's in a museum where famous photographers have been, that's pretty bonkers. My inspiration was actually Insomniacs, and I wanted to show the not so good side of dreams and to show how it feels when you can't sleep.
Kaiah's photography teacher, Miss Burrows, elaborates on her passionate student and the bond they share.
She's very daring, and her eye is very sophisticated, so she's not like a normal high school student. She always goes way above and beyond, and she teaches me a lot of the times. She'll research all these people and what they're doing, and she's just very, very passionate and just on fire.
An additional inspiration for her photography was her nephew, Quentin Rivas, who was the center of her award-winning photo.
I was really surprised. I was very glad for her. and she is really good at doing what she does the best.
Kaiah reveals where she is headed with her newfound appetence.
I for sure see myself continuing photography, definitely outside of high school. I want to become a photography teacher, hopefully. So no, it's definitely something I love to do. It's my passion.
With this being Kaiah's last year at Sage Creek, she will soon enter the real world to spread her creativity and pursue her bright future ahead. This is Nadia Razzaq and Jin Son reporting for The Sage. Now back to the ink.
Kaiah's art is truly inspiring. I honestly wish I was able to photograph something so beautiful.
I agree. It's so interesting to see how students can express their passions freely at Sage. Let's send it over to Harper Hughes to check out the athletic side of our school.
Hey Bobcats, I'm Harper Hughes, one of the sports editors this year, and here is the first edition of Sports and Announcements for this week. On Thursday, girls tennis beat Oceanside 18-0 and have a match tomorrow at SDA. Girls golf also beat Oceanside last week and have 2 matches this week, one today at Arrowwood and a home match tomorrow at the Crossings. On Monday, all 3 levels of girls volleyball beat Mount Carmel. Wear neon tomorrow to support them against Vista in the Bobcat Arena. Over the weekend, the cross-country team participated in the Woodbridge Classic. The girls finished 7th in the sweepstakes race and 13th in the varsity gold race, with Skylar Wallace placing in 12th and Lavanya Pandey in 21st. The boys finished 4th in the varsity gold race, with Bryce Gilmore placing 4th individually. This Saturday, they will be racing at the Dana Hills Invite. This week is Start With Hello Week, which was designed to create an inclusive culture among peers. Today, you can get a bucket list during lunch and complete it for a surprise from ASB. There will be limbo at lunch tomorrow and life-size games on Friday in the grassy area off of the Academic Mall. Make sure to dress up tomorrow for Lifesaver Spirit Day and for Twin Day on Friday. Flag football signups are happening during lunch this week, and Club Rush will be next Wednesday during lunch. For updates on Bobcat athletics, follow @TheSageSports on Instagram. I'm Harper, sending it back to the anchors.
Samantha and Wiley definitely made an impact last Friday. Did you go to the walkout, Paige?
Sadly, I wasn't able to attend, but I look forward to other opportunities where I'll be able to share my support.
Well, keeping it green, Morgan Mayorga and Eric Plotkin headed out to the tennis courts to take a look at a determined freshman.
Michelle Carson is the only freshman on varsity this year.
Her teammates and coaches, along with herself, have told us what the experience is like.
Let's see what they have to say.
The Sage Creek girls varsity tennis team has gotten a strong start to the 2019 fall season. With new seasons come new players, one of those players being the only freshman on the varsity team. We spoke with freshman Michelle Cartsub to find out what she liked most about playing on varsity.
At first, I was really nervous about being the only freshman, considering I was the youngest one and I didn't know anyone. It seemed like everyone else already knew each other. But as soon as I started getting to know everyone, I love being on varsity because all the girls are just amazing and I feel really accepted.
We also spoke with Michelle's coach, Coach Betsy, to see what made Michelle stand out during tryouts.
Michelle, during tryouts, proved to me that she's a very versatile player. She has a very good forehand, backhand, and she loves to play the net. And that is very important when you're playing high school tennis. And she has a very good serve. And she serves with spin, which is very important. And she can play either side of the court. She can also play singles. So I knew when I saw her as a freshman that she was going to have a really good career with Sage Creek tennis.
Playing with people who are 3 years older than me hasn't really been intimidating. I find it as an entertaining challenge because they have so much more experience.
Reporting for The Sage, this has been Morgan Mayorga and Eric Plotkin. Now back to the anchors.
It's amazing how it's only been a few months and Michelle has created such a name for herself.
I'm excited to see the mark she makes this year.
I agree. This week has also been Start With Hello Week. We want to let our Bobcats know that we care about each and every one of you.
If you're ever in need of someone to talk to, there's teachers, administrators, and counselors who are all available for you.
We are all one big Bobcat community.
Definitely. And to keep up with our community, make sure to head over to thesagenews.com for news stories.
And make sure to follow @The Sage Publication on Instagram and Twitter.
Thank you so much for watching. This has been Paige Zepeda
and Bella Niems reporting for
The Sage.